Hi, this is Liv from Live with Liv, and today I'm going to talk about paying yourself out of your business. I recently just started paying myself out of our e-commerce business, and the reason for that is that I had a full-time job this last year as we had it, and I recently left that job to pursue our e-commerce business full-time, so it is time for me to take a little bit of a cut. So the reason why I am making this video is because I was researching how to pay myself online, and there was a bunch of really confusing information. And the reason why it's confusing is because dependent on how your business is structured, like if you're an S Corp, if you're an LLC, partnership, dependent on this, you're gonna wanna pay yourself differently and you have different tax structures. So if you take one thing away from this video, it is that you need to talk to a CPA. I highly suggest getting a CPA. We use a firm in Tennessee, but you can also just hire a CPA on Upwork for a couple of hours and talk to them. You can have them go through your books. So I'm probably gonna mention it a bunch of times in this, but you will want to get a CPA. And also, prefacing the video, I am not a tax expert. I am not a CPA. So this is just my experience trying to help you get a CPA. Anyway, our business is an LLC and partnership. So that means at the end of the year, me and my partner are going to split the profits 50-50. There are three ways that I found for our business that we can pay ourselves. We can do a W-2, a 1099, and a owner's draw. So I will take you through each of these and then I'll explain to you which one I chose and why I chose it. So the first option is a W-2. And with the W-2, the company is going to withhold your Medicare and Social Security taxes each month. So for example, if I wanted to pay myself $3,500 a month, the business, I would go on payroll, the business would pay that out, but they would also withhold my Medicare and Social Security taxes. So me and my bank account, I would probably only receive $2,800 of that paycheck. But there are some benefits to W-2. You can also get unemployment. So for example, during COVID with the PPP loan, you would also be able to apply to that because you're on payroll. The second option is a 1099 contractor. And so with the 1099 contractor, the business will not withhold the taxes for you. You will also not be able to qualify for unemployment. So at the end of the year, you will need to save up money so that you can pay that taxes to the government. The last option is a owner's draw, and it's basically exactly like a 1099, but you don't have to go through becoming a 1099 contractor. You will take a cut out of the bank account and you will get that in your bank account, but you will have to save up for the end of the year to pay your taxes. The reason why you would probably want to do an owner's draw over a 1099 is apparently it can sometimes get a little bit shady if they audit you and they say, hey, you're not a contractor, you're an owner, what are you doing here? The option I chose was to take an owner's draw. And the reason that I chose this is twofold. One, I want to keep as much money in the business as possible. So with the W-2, they're withholding the taxes and they could potentially be withholding too much. And that's why at the end of the year, you'll get a return. And I want to keep as much cash in the business as possible. The second reason gets a little bit complicated, so bear with me. And again, I'm not a CPA. This is just my experience. As a US citizen, you are required every year, if you have a job, to pay Social Security taxes and Medicare taxes. And that's roughly 15%. So you're required to do that, you have to do that. And then there is another percentage that you have to pay on income tax, and that depends on how much you make a year. So this is why I chose an owner's draw over a W-2. So if I am self-employed and I'm taking money out of the business as an owner's draw, I will have to pay that 15% taxes for Social Security and Medicare regardless. But the income tax, I will only have to pay income tax on 80% of my income. So only 80%. If I'm a W-2 employee, then you gotta pay that 15%, Social Security, Medicare, but I will have to pay income tax on 100% of that income. So that is why I chose an owner's draw. It'll slightly help me with taxes, especially if we have a lot of profits this year, because then when it splits 50-50 between me and my partner and I have really high profits, I don't want to pay 100% tax on those. I would rather pay taxes on 80% of those profits. So there you have it. You have a W-2, 1099, owner's draw. I chose to do an owner's draw. We are an LLC and a partnership. This is really important. Depending on how your business is structured, it's going to be different for you. So again, not a CPA, I would contact one, super easy, Upwork, or I can link our CPA below. And I hope this video was helpful. If you want to see more content as I am learning, you can subscribe. Thank you.